Improving and adjustment. That is the name of the game here for StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational. We are in the middle of a series. It is OpTic versus Kinguin. OpTic took him one very convincingly, but they are in the process of adjusting and improving on the greater scale. For Kinguin, they need to adjust and improve right now, because otherwise they're actually in the lower bracket of their group. We're in Group A. This is only day one of the tournament. We got a long way to go. But Winter, I mean, OpTic, they look good. If you look at adjustment and improvement for Kinguin, though, is there any one thing you can think like, oh, you know what? If they tweak that, they would do better?
Try to focus on more on themselves instead of trying to counter the opponents too much.
Okay.
I think that would be like generally a good start for an inexperienced team, because it happens, you know, inexperienced team goes to a LAN, they try to maybe be a bit too fancy, they try to counter the opponents.
Sure.
That happens.
But they're not that inexperienced, Nahas.
Yeah, this is a team that, as you brought up earlier, Shiver, apart from one player, has been together for several years. Now ESL kind of was their first big LAN experience.
They've had 5. This is their 5th DPC event for Kinguin.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. You want me to listen?
Oh yeah, they were at no, that's right. They were at Perfect World. They started up because they won their group at Perfect World Masters. Sorry about that. I misspoke.
Perfect World Summit, the previous StarLadder, as well as Katowice.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
this is and they've been to more than OpTic, because OpTic has only been to 4. This is their 4th.
Wow.
So in terms of more experience, they've been together for a very long time.
That's right. Kinguin.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I would still say that among their players, they are not as experienced as like
for sure.
PBD,
Yes.
Picard. They are much like
and on
much
paper,
longer around the scene. They've been much.
Yeah, on paper, OpTic is the better team.
Sure.
There's the more experienced team, as you said. Yeah. So what does Kinguin do? Focusing on themselves. Now, as you said earlier, you don't like them pinpointing that much on the same heroes, which I guess is focusing on themselves.
I just think they need to avoid these what I think of as unforced errors in the draft. Like again, you go back to the ESL Katowice game. The game they got eliminated on where they last picked Zeus into a life stealer, right? Like 4th picking PL to me is that against what OpTic had on the table with the Terrorblade unbanned, I think is that in that same class of kind of unforced errors, and that's not. We talked about Katsu's hero pool being really, really small. Deer and Nisha both have at least reasonably sized hero pools. You didn't have to pick PL there, and it just, especially because Exotic Deer ended up playing the PL, which is unusual. I just think that draft just got away from him, and you say, all right, fine, blank slate, let's come back game 2.
It's what Lacoste said, right? He said, should have called GG 5 minutes ago so that they can focus on the positive mindset, maybe, and get into that. Does that play into account here, you think?
I mean, there's a little bit of like validity to that statement, where you want to just like refresh and think about the next game. And the fact that they haven't GG'd could mean that they don't understand how bad the situation it is in the game as well. So it's never a good sign when the game is like clearly that over that they still haven't GG'd out.
I'm going to differ a little bit from you there. I think that's very team specific. I think there are a lot of teams to me, especially at LAN, there are a lot of teams to me that have this personality that, look, we're going to, whatever happens, we're going to play this out to the bitter end. We're going to make them take racks before we GG out. You know, I think that it just depends, right? If you're the kind of team that is resilient, again, and a team that's been together for a long time, you can play those games out. And again, this is Kinguin once again locking down Katsu's hero in the first phase, and this is going to be a Katsu Rubik.
Yeah, first phase pick. I mean, do you agree with it though?
I don't like picking like Rubik over like something like Tuss. I personally like Tuss a lot as an opener right now.
I agree, however, they have lost 9 straight games with their Tusk.
Rubik is like still, I mean, a solid pick. Like doesn't really reveal too much. But the difference between like a Rubik opening and a Tusk opening is like Rubik is a lot weaker. Rubik is like a lot weaker at the start of the game, and BH is one of the better supports to like harass the Rubik, because Rubik you have very low armor.
It's a great hero to steal from though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you steal the track, but again, it's like what I was saying, it is more about the laning phase. The Bounty Hunter can really mess with Rubik and the mid against in the laning phase.
You get bullied so much, it's like you don't want to play the game as Rubik against Bounty. I mean, we'll see what happens, but they have a solid opening here. Bounty, DK is a hero that does so much, like fits multiple roles. That's what you want in the opening right now.
And note that Kinguin had switched up their bans considerably here, banning the Visage here in the first phase instead of the Bounty, which they banned in game 1. And OpTic say, okay, we'll take that Bounty. And that is typically a Zai hero for them.
Well, they banned out the Visage in game 1 as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
they
it
did.
was. Oh, okay. Which was the?
OpTic banned out the Bounty Hunter previous game.
Oh, OpTic banned them out.
Yeah.
All right, I had the
And,
drafts reversed.
The Tiny is the one that now got banned out by Kinguin,
Instead
leaving
of- yeah.
Sand King in the pool, as Tiny was banned out by OpTic previous game. It's both teams are banning out the same type of heroes as well.
So Rubik DP. If it's a DAC, you'll probably see some Rubik Underlord already, first 2 picks. But DP again, like he's a really strong hero. Similar category to I would say the DK, Razor, DP. Those are the heroes that you want to hold the game with. The heroes that don't really need like protection. You can sack them. You don't have to protect them. They're still gonna do a lot in the game.
Yeah, and I think DP has become a flex pick in sort of the same way that DK has with teams like VGJ, showing that she can be run in the side lanes. You know, she doesn't always. She still is usually going to be, but she doesn't necessarily have to be in the mid position.
I mean, she does a lot. Like the thing is, like she does a lot in the game. She has this tower siege. She has Roshan. She has physical damage. She has magical damage. She's pretty good in the lane.
Yeah.
She has wave clear.
You know, and I think DP and DK, the big thing that they have in common too is that they really punish that enemy core for leaving lane. Like anytime either of those heroes is level 6, you have to think really, really carefully before you leave lane to go jungle or to go go for a gank.
Pretty much right now they have to be careful of the AA. Okay, they banned the AA because I'm pretty sure Peter is gonna play AA against DP. It's just like a straight up like direct counter towards the hero. Makes it so difficult to play the hero. So they ban out the Luna, then they ban out the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
Because worried about worried about the Omni DP combo and the lane pressure because Bounty kind of wants to roam. So you don't want the enemy team to have like an off laner that can force you to have 3 heroes in 1 lane.
Yeah, that AA pick too is a lot of that. The AA ban rather is a lot because OpTic had first pick going into the second phase. I feel like if you got first pick in the second phase, you might have, as Kinguin, you might have taken AA yourself.
A against DK. Yeah, I like that too.
No, but as it is, I'm probably going to see some Witch Doctor at some point for OpTic. That's one of Peter's favorites. He is 10-2 with that hero over the last 2 months. Yeah,
Witch Doctor is a pretty solid support for the laning phase, pretty good team fight. I go for the Lion. Lion is something that I think right now he's been climbing up the ranks as one of the best position 5 heroes because of the recent buffs.
Well, he was before that. That's been one of the themes when things changed in the pro meta. A hero that's trending upward a little bit already and then gets buffed is one that you're going to see a lot of.
He's really strong right now. I think his laning presence is something that teams used to worry about. But right now he has that 70 mana cost on the stun.
Yeah,
That's like so huge for the hero.
No, you can. I mean, you can cast it at the very beginning of the game. You can cast it 4 times and still have like 30 mana left over.
Crazy.
Like it's a huge change for him.
Yep. So Kinguin follows up with a Sand King. I mean, pretty straightforward stuff. Nothing too fancy. Can be a position 4 hero, can be an offlane hero, but for this team, it's probably going to be like a support, right? I'm not sure how much do they play on the offlane. They are.
Patos actually plays quite a bit of it.
He plays a lot?
Yeah, he plays more Sand King than Katsor does.
But right now, either way, OpTic, they are, like I said, they're usually going to leave Pyke's hero for last, so I'm probably going to see 33's hero here. Venos ban, Visage is ban. There's Brood, but I don't think you want to Brood here. It's probably the stable heroes. I mean, there's still the Underlord, but I don't really like Underlord against Rubik. I think Rubik's quite a annoying hero, like a counter, because the aura, and if he steals your Firestorm, which generally he does steal it, and he has the null field on his side.
I think he could. It is a little scary with Rubik on the other side, but I do think you could still take Tide.
Yeah, Tide's okay too. What else there is?
Are you basically looking for a hero to group up around, to push together?
They can buy Helm. Like even a Abaddon, maybe. Abaddon is okay.
I mean, a Dom hero, I'm good with Abaddon. Well, you're not. I usually, to justify an Abaddon pick, I usually want to see something to get value out of the Purge, but that's not bad here. You can also shove DK in the offlane, which is not something they do a lot.
That's possible, but I don't think they've done it right. Like,
No, this
haven't-
team is almost like DK is almost exclusively a CCNC hero for them.
Let's see, it's a Viper.
Okay.
So
So I mean,
maybe.
what's really nice here with the DK and Viper on board is that those two feel almost interchangeable
Yeah.
in terms of where they can go in the lanes. And so it's basically if Kinguin were to come back with one of the few heroes that punishes DK in lane, or if they're worried about the DP versus DK matchup, there
They
you go
can
with the
switch it.
Viper.
Yeah. Does it also mean that OpTic is kind of locking themselves in for an early to mid push, and late game
Not
they
at all.
might be?
That's
Little bit
why
tough?
that's why the option you leave yourself a little bit short on team fight to do it, but that's why the option to shove DK into the offlane is super relevant.
But
here.
if they do that, like you said, the team fight will be lacking.
Yeah.
So they have to like win the lanes to compensate for that. Like win the lanes pretty hard.
Okay, well, there's your lane winning hero, and,
Yeah,
and
Bane against Bounty is great. So I guess the Sand King is more or less going to be the off lane right now.
yeah, that's when they pick Sand King, it's almost always a Patos hero.
So what do we look for in Kinguin's 5th pick?
Their lineup looks much more balanced compared to OpTic. OpTic has this like much a lineup that has more lane control. You're looking to win the lanes more. But if you don't win the lanes, you're probably not going to be able to take the team fight that Kinguin has with the TP and the Sand King.
Now you brought up Broodmother here, Winter earlier. Is that still a possibility for OpTic?
Yeah.
They do have the last overall pick.
Possible, because they have to, like, their win condition is they have to snowball from the lanes. And DP is not the best. Like, they have Sand King. Sand King is the only core, I would say, that can deal with
Yeah, they can
Brood's
do with
pressure.
Brood.
But if they have only Sand King, and let's say they pick a core that doesn't deal with Brood, so I still think that the Brood can be like a deadly pick here. So Kinguin has to be careful about it.
Oh, Brood ban. Kinguin
Yeah, very smart.
had the same idea indeed.
Very smart.
Always scary.
So is this where we? Oh, they banned the Lone Druid. That was
Yeah.
going to be the hero that I was going to talk about for Kinguin.
What requirements does this hero need to have?
PL seem okay this time for Kinguin, I
Yeah.
think. PL is great against BH. He's great against the Viper. But there's the Lion to like mana drain, and with the talents, I mean, that can be annoying.
I feel like
Because
Terrorblade could be good, but then you're really worried about the Lion.
yeah,
it's getting roasted.
Lion's pretty good against Terrorblade, but Terrorblade's banned anyway. Like OpTic first banned it.
Oh yeah, okay.
The other carries that are available, there's the Juggernaut. Juggernaut could be okay.
OD.
OD.
OD's a hero that Kinguin likes a lot, a niche hero.
Yeah,
And you
OD
do
can-
already have the DP for pushing towers.
OD can be good against their lineup too. OD against DK, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that as the pick here.
Yeah,
And every so often they'll also like go back to an SF, which I don't like here. I think that's way too greedy, and it would get roamed on.
Oh, they got 20 seconds left.
I think they just need like a front line. That's all. They need a front line, front line hero, like a Juggernaut. Even Lifestealer wouldn't be that bad, even though it's against like a Viper. I just think that you can go the Radiance build, stand in front.
There it is.
Okay,
Lifestealer indeed.
Lifestealer is a good call. Yeah, he is pretty. I don't know though. He's pretty vulnerable. Even through the rage, he can still get Viper struck.
He just needs to tank, you know. They just need a front line. Then you just go with the Radiance build, even though like you get kited, but you're still doing damage with Radiance.
So when you look at OpTic, right, this is where the fact that they can really switch tempos with this 5th pick matters a lot. Like, if they pick a low cooldown hero as their offlaner here, like, you're going to have to fight with Exorcism down. And if Lifestealer's mentality is, oh, I just got a tank, I don't have to deal damage, they have no damage. None with Exorcism down.
Yeah.
And I'm worried. I think that the push strap potential you're talking about, Shiver, I think that's what we're looking at.
He could
for
still
OpTic.
also
Death ball
go.
from OpTic.
He still could also go for that normal, like the build, the Armlet, Desolator.
Ooh.
Oh
Talking about a death ball.
Oh god, that is a disgusting
That's
troll
a-
pick.
It's a really good like matchup for the carry to carry through against Lifestealer. But then again, their draft is not a balanced kind of draft. They have this kind of Troll, Dragonite, Viper cores, which I wouldn't say work really well together. They are more like lane dominators. They don't really have team fight.
But they're lane dominators without any help. That means that Bounty Hunter and Lion can do whatever they want because the rest of the lanes will be fine anyway.
But they're up against a Bane, though. Bane is a pretty good support at dealing with those early pressures from the Bounty. And I think that the lineup that have, even though it's a really good carry-to-carry matchup for Paikat, but I feel like their lineup is like very imbalanced, like way too imbalanced. So I think Kinguin has what it takes from the draft point of view.
All right.
So I'm just gonna trust them one time from the draft. Even though I think OpTic is a better team.
Because we are doing predictions. You're going for Kinguin.
I think that troll pick is absolutely disgusting. OpTic.
I'm going for OpTic as well, Winter, but
it's okay. I don't mind. I like being alone, you know, on an island.
I'm not sure if you are alone, because who knows what our commentators think about this draft, about this matchup. It is time to head over to Lacoste and Lyrical.
Thank you so much, Shiver. Lacoste, the panel a little bit split. Winter forever alone, a little bit sad there. But how are you feeling about it? You digging the OpTic draft? Or?
I know what Mr. Chan is saying. He just wants to be on the opposite side. Like he knows that OpTic has a better draft, but he just wants to go against the Haas. That's it. I prefer OpTic's lineup to start with. They have a lot of counters for Nice, and they have Tricores which scale really well. Which is gonna, I don't think they're gonna lose the lanes. Again.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that you look at the draft and the way that they were running it. It feels like also it scales incredibly well to the late game. And if they start getting into like trades for team fights, that's where Bounty Hunter excels, right? And those heroes just don't die that they got. You know, Viper and DK, they might run into damage issues on the side of Kinguin, but we'll have to see. Still a lot to be determined. If there was sort of like a silver lining for it, what do you really like about the Kinguin draft? What's something that it does well for them?
I mean, they have Bane and Rubik, which is pretty garbage together, in my opinion. No, I'm a big Bane hater.
Okay.
I feel like both of these heroes, so they want to bully the lanes with these two heroes, especially with the Bane. Like, you want to win the lane where Bane goes. So it's going to be a sanking off lane. The matchup is going to be against Troll and Lion. I mean, he can't pull off the Sandstorm in the laning stage because of the Earth Spike Lion. Also on the rise as position 5 hero recently. Mana cost rescaled from 100 to 70 on level 1, which is pretty great.
Okay.
Like you actually have mana to cast spells.
Oh, Zai, spot out Patos there. Just gonna skitter away from them again, and I do like this decision. Bounty Hunter heading up towards top, and I imagine that PPD is gonna try and get an early pull-off. It's always a little bit frustrating trying to do that into a Bane, just because he can sleep you and then suddenly the creeps run by you.
Yeah, but 33 has a vision of Bane, so it's gonna be hard. They don't have any sentries. Like, there is one on Kator, but he's on the bottom lane, so top lane is gonna be really nice.
PPD,
33,
he just does the pull, and then it's like a double wave instead of trying to get it directly into it. So that's nice.
He's just buying time. Like, there's no way to counter it unless Bane is really standing next to the wave.
Well, it does look like, at least for now, they're going to be heading over there, get the double wave for the DK in the off lane, and because of that, Bane is going to head mid, where they want to try and help out against CC&C. And the nice old Enfeeble span. This is always so frustrating.
Now he has no damage. He should have bought 6 Fairy Fires just for the extra damage. Just kidding. It's pretty impossible to last hit against this. So they want to focus on the top lane, on the mid lane, top lane Dragon Knight. Once he gets that 2 points in Dragon Blood, like, he can be harassed. Also, Bounty Hunter trying to snipe a chicken. Where's the chicken at?
Oh, it's right there by the tier 2. He sees it, but realizing that Kinguin might be just keeping it there for a long time is not going to try and dive under the top for it, obviously. So he's going to head off towards greener pastures in the top lane, it looks like. And Nisha, meanwhile, going to have a nice little wave underneath his tower to try and contend with. Already decent start there for Kinguin.
Yeah, bottom lane is not that strong. You have a Sanking and Rubik, which is not that strong of a lane, especially since Troll is a melee hero who can transform into being ranged. You're playing against 2 ranged, and whenever they get close, they get Whirling Axes into their face, a lot of harassment, followed up by Earth Spike, so they should be careful. Patos still has some region left, a Flask and Tango's Flask used now.
Wow, look at this. 3-3 needs to be careful. It's a triple wave, actually, underneath his tower. And even with the double mango, it's in trouble there. Zai getting ran at. They do have Hex available, as well as the Earth Spike. And Pycat going to be able to force back the Sand King and the Rubik a little bit before they get too close and personal with them.
Yeah, well, Bounty should try to focus on the bottom lane. Like, there's nothing he can do on top. They can't kill him. So either mid or bottom lane. He shouldn't even steal the XP from 33 on that top lane.
He needs to make sure that he gets those levels. But, I mean, 33's been able to get level 3 already. So PPD not stealing too much away from that. 33
also pinging. Leave me alone. This is the classic pub matchup. Like, leave me alone. I need the XP. Like, you're doing literally nothing. Buddy, move away. I'm gonna tell you one last time. I'm gonna start dropping items on the floor. Threaten that I'm gonna destroy them. Go away, Bounty Hunter. Like, this is the classic.
You've had some good pubs recently, huh?
You know, I didn't play Dota, man, for 15 days. I'm kind of shaking. I was traveling, and during the DAC we couldn't play. Can't wait to get back home to actually play some Dotes.
Absolutely. Look at this troll though. 16-1 right now. Again, Pycat having a nice game for himself as Exotic Deer trying to keep up 9-0. He's definitely behind and getting harassed constantly by this PPD 33 combo.
Well, if Bounty rotates bottom, they have a really good kill potential, especially since Bounty has the boost of speed, Orb of Venom, and Junada.
Zai is going to try and walk away, but ends up going down. First blood drawn by the Rubik. So a little bit of a different hero for him this time, as it's PPD playing the Bounty instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I know why, because most of the bounty hunters these days play as position 5. Like, you get boots, maybe get an urn, and then you buy pretty much everything.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see if they actually can get some more farm onto this Lion, though. A hero that sometimes struggles to get towards that initial Blink Dagger. And right now, just having to sort of play constant support, level 2. Pycat, who has been able to have a very, very free lane of it for himself. So 4 minutes in, and lane's fairly static so far. Haven't really seen all that much action yet, as they do find the stun there onto Zai to force him back. Do you think there's any kill potential here outside of just Zai maybe dying again as they get the lift up?
This could be a death of a Sand King. He's just saving a stun for a double stun.
Nice play there. Turns around for another stun, but PPD makes the rotation now, trying to bring him low. Zai so freaking low, is going to go down. But PPD took down the Sand King first.
Yeah, I think that's a decent trade. The Peter is going to kill the Sentry Ward, so he will be more active on that bottom lane. Top lane, I mean, Lifestealer is harassing you, but you're a Dragon Knight. You're sitting on 11 armor, 13 HP regen per second. The problem is CCNC.
Look at this guy.
I mean, CCNC has been playing from behind most of the time because they sacrifice him. So he's sitting on 6 CS against 21-15 of a DP.
Yeah, it ain't great, man. It is looking...
Yeah, but no, you know what's great? When you come back from that.
Okay.
Like, you get 2 kills, your 2 supports rotate with a smoke gank, and then you can just laugh. You kill him, he has more XP, more net worth, and you're back into the game.
I mean, the scary part is that Viper is not necessarily one of those heroes that's known for being able to like farm his way back into it. But like you said, maybe get that level 6 and a rotation comes and then it happens. But CCNC is going to need some help from the rest of his team to get back into this game. In the meantime, Kinguin, can they take advantage of this relatively under-leveled Viper, as we do see, again, Zai getting initiated on upon here by the rest of Kinguin. They're going to be forced back, though, as the troll rotates over, and actually instead it's going to be Patos that pays the price as they run him down and find the kill.
Yeah, they just need to keep doing that. Just have a Bounty Hunter on the bottom lane, and they are way stronger. PPD wants to take the rune. They might even get a kill on him.
In some trouble. They find the Earth Spike, and again, gonna get ran at. This Rubik in trouble. Wants to get the lift, the turn, trying to see if he can get some damage onto Zai with the rotation in from the Bane, and the Hex comes out. He's actually able to lift, trying to walk away, but the right click comes through. He misses! Oh, the troll miss! And the Bane gonna be able to run away. But Zai gets away just by the skin of his teeth as Patos, again, in a little bit of trouble.
Bash.
They brains have to try and turn it.
Seems like OpTic has been praying before the game for that RNG, man. The miss chance, the bash chance.
Jeez.
Top lane, okay, the Dragon Knight is in problems, trying to TP out. He's gonna...
Just right by the edge.
Yeah, almost. That's gonna hurt him a lot. He needs to walk back to the lane.
Yeah, very frustrating there for Mr. DK. And, well, Kinguin looking better than game number 1. It's feeling definitely stronger, at least out of the start.
Yeah, Lifestealer's having a good time. This is going to be a good Radiance game, so others will need to be more active. DP has ulti up, but the Siege Creep is dead on a mid lane, so she can't pressure the tower.
Well, and again, it's just the story for me that stands out is this Viper, who has been so heavily hampered in the early stage, just 100 net worth ahead of the Bounty Hunter at this point in the game, is getting closer to that level 6, where maybe if you can find an overextension, you can punish with a kill. But right now, struggle city right now for CCNC.
Yeah, I mean, Bane has been sitting on the mid lane for 7 minutes.
Yeah. And oh my god, they're just gonna run in him with the Exorcism. CCNC pops the Fairy Fire. Not gonna work though, and PPD actually is gonna be found with Dust, but they won't be able to dive for that one. And Exorcism used. We'll see what damage they can get onto this tower with it.
Yeah, well, Pycat has Battle Fury queued up. I'm not sure if he's gonna have enough time to go for it, especially since Viper is sacked in the laning stage. Depends how 33 is gonna get his items. Yeah. Like I've seen LGD play a lot of Troll Warlord. If you need to create space for your team, you go for SNY and Mask of Madness, so you can come online pretty fast. Like this Viper doesn't even have boots. Dragonite is doing all right on the top lane.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what they try and do, is just play around that DK, as you mentioned. They don't have as easy of a Roche time as they did in the last game with that Underlord, which might be something else that could be a little bit frustrating for them. But they are going to pop ulti now with 3-3 PPD in the area. They bring in Pycat as well, looking for the catch and the finish there. He jumps inside of a creep, trying to run away, but will be brought down in the end. 3-3 getting the kill, and now maybe a tower.
Yeah, but this is a classic move, and your carry can't do anything on the lane. Either go to the jungle or just TP to enemy safe lane and get the tower if possible.
Now they're trying to bring in the Bane, and they will have the lift as well from the Rubik as they turn around with the stun, trying to bring down 3-3 here as they do find him. And Epicenter coming out as well in some trouble. He's actually able to run away from it though, and 33 trying to hide in the trees. They're bringing in the Troll, they're bringing in PPD. 3-3, is he going to fall? He's still living. He does finally get brought down there by Patos, who's now going to just go for a little bit of a sandstorm walk away. And it looks like with that, OpTic are going to back out.
Yeah, I mean, Viper doubled his CS, 20 CS. Now, I mean, it's all right against 50 of a DP, 33 denies. I mean, you had a Bane who was on the mid lane for 7 minutes, and with all this rotation, Lion is level 5, 10 minutes in. I wonder who's gonna buy a Tome. Like, this is a very split situation between Bounty and Lion. Both of them need Tome to get to level 6, but if Lion keeps being on the bottom lane, he's gonna get the XP, so Bounty might buy it. But yeah, even if you have a track and no finger, you don't have a good kill potential.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a tough one, right? Is that you aren't going to be able to end up making use of the track anyways. He is going to be the one to buy it. We'll see if he decides to hand that off to Mr. Lion or not. As Zai going to group up here with PPD. There's no other heroes in the areas. We're going to get a quick little look at a transition there. I thought there was a replay, but no. 3-3 should have Dragon Form back up, and here's going to be the smoke play. And Lion has level 6. Yeah, so they did get that. They gave it over to the Lion.
I mean, it's better. Like, you can't get a kill. They want the kill on a DP.
Oh, the silence! It comes out to save the day, but is it going to really end up saving anything? The finger is still there, and they get the kill. And now the Dragon Tail. Okay, more. The Earth Spike from the low ground, stealing away mana. Trying to turn now. The Bane is going to drop. CCNC gets the kill in the end.
Godlike positioning from Zai. That Earth Spike, when you use it on the ground, it has a little bit of like extra range. You saw it, like just one gigantic spike to the left side.
That was pretty nifty. And they timed this together with the cart being there. It looks like the DK wasn't hit by the Fade Bolt either, so he gets that extra bit of damage in.
These two green flying brothers are going to pressure the tower a little bit. So Bounty is the one who's collecting the XP on the bottom lane. I mean, ideally, you would want one of your supports to be level 6, but in this scenario, it's good. A lot of rotations from OpTic. Is there gonna be a bash? Yes, there will. Yeah, Pycat is kind of lucky with the bashes.
He's getting it. Guy eats his Wheaties.
Yeah, I mean, since the game is going all right for them, he can afford to go for Battle Fury right now.
Oh, scan. Dire hit that one. They realize that Bounty's in the area. And unfortunately, they won't be able to take advantage of it. As 3 heroes from Kinguin heading down bottom want to secure a tower as, well, top lane, Pycat going to be able to take their tier 1 as well.
Yeah, there's just a mirror movement from OpTic Gaming. This is why I don't like Bane at all. Like, you have a hero who bullied the lane and now you're level 4, 12 minutes in. Like, you're literally doing nothing. You're playing 4 versus 5.
I guess that is a bit of an issue. And, well,
but he did great for the first 7 minutes using that Enfeeble. That Prophet has 36 denies. I gotta stay positive, especially about the Bane.
Yeah, for sure. PPD is just stalking Nisha right now and is going to back out as he is almost at level 6. So with the Battle Fury Troll, feels like they're getting geared up for the later game, but you've also got these other heroes that are sort of set for making things happen as Sand King is trying to chase a little bit, but as all of Kinguin rotates top, OpTic evacuate the area and are going to head mid.
Yeah, I mean, Lifestealer is not going to come online for the next 5 minutes. He needs that Radiance. 3k gold in his pocket.
Well, and OpTic, as you said, pushing down the tower a little bit every now and then. It is almost completely gone. Meanwhile, Kinguin looking to, I guess, I mean, they still need to secure some more farm for these heroes. Like you said, that Radiance a little ways away for Exotic Deer.
OpTic feels that Kinguin is weak at the moment, since they saw Lifestealer didn't even have a relic in his inventory. They see that Bane is level 4, Rubik is a decent level. Like, if Rubik steals Nether Toxin, which he just did, it's a great way to deal with the Viper and Dragonite.
Yeah. We'll have to watch for it. Again, Nisha Invis Rune. And in the meantime, Zaya's just hanging out by that DK in case they want to try and pressure. He gets initiated on. They can come and react quickly. Sand King just picks up his Blink Dagger as well.
Yeah, it's time to get a kill. Instant smoked from Katsor. Ideally, they would want to get the kill on Troll or a Dragonite.
Looks like they're not going to be able to hit those targets as they're both top and Kinguin are heading either bottom or mid lane, where it looks like Bounty Hunter is going to be in position to try and break this smoke. They just miss each other barely as top lane is still being pressured in and DK is starting to take that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Troll just ultis when he uses Dragon Form. This tower is going down, so they know something is up. He might scout them. Yeah, PPD knows something is up, Dust used it.
Yeah, trying to chase. That's a quick and easy kill. And they're going to steal Shadow Walk. But again, you lose a tier 2 tower for a kill on this Bounty Hunter. Just doesn't feel like it's getting the best trades out of the map that they possibly could.
Yeah, this is what PPD does best. Like, he just tanks the smoke gank and provides a lot of vision for his team. Same thing he did in game number 1 as Rubik.
Meanwhile, CCNC in the mid lane looking like he might be a little bit out of position, but the rest of his team is right behind him. They're initiating onto this Viper, trying to take him down. They were able to actually get the Nightmare there onto the Dragonite, and that keeps one away from the rest of the fight. As PPD rotates in, is going to have a track, throws on to Pathos, and it looks like with that, OpTic not going to look to take a fight any further. The death is not an initiation.
I mean, they use DP ulti, they use Sanking ulti just to get a kill on Viper. Meanwhile, Troll Warlord with the Battle Fury just continues to farm the jungle and the wave. So even with that kill, advantage goes off in 1k favor of OpTic. Now they can take a fight. Like, Troll is I mean, he deals a ton of damage, not tanky enough though. But they want to use the bounty, I guess, and try to get some track kills online.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a more of a utility build on a Dragonite with the Helm of the Dominator. Want to have that extra creep, extra damage, just to split the map, to give you the vision, and I mean, the item in general is just way too good not to have it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Every single offlaner nowadays just building that item. The aura is amazing. Exotic Deer does have the Radiance almost completed at this point, but he is getting wrapped around upon here as all of the rest of the heroes from OpTic in the area, and this might be a dead Lifestealer. Yeah.
Backstab.
Oh, Rage, run away. Exotic Deer sense trouble, and he gets out. I mean, I think he does. They're still tracked, and the rest of OpTic is in the area. Are they still going to go for this? There's no way, right? Yeah, they're just going to pressure the tower instead. Meanwhile, the Bane throws off the Enfeeble, makes sure that they're not able to get any type of easy kill. Nether Toxin stolen by the Rubik. And Kinguin still tempting fate as they bring heroes bottom. Since Viper is showing in the mid lane, they feel a little bit more comfortable trying to defend this tier 1 tower. So, as far as as the game goes on, is this Battle Fury Troll enough that you don't have to be worried about late game?
I mean, Troll is one of the better heroes against the Lifestealer because of the bash. He's one of the few ones who can fight him. Mischance against the mischance. Once Kinguin gets that Radiance up, they should smoke again with the Sanking ulti and try to get some more kills, and they should go for objectives. Level 2 Exorcism is up. They have a good vision. One near the shrine, one the same one that they placed in the game number 1 twice, I think. This ward gives you a lot of vision when enemy team is about to siege.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
So,
and, oh, there's the Radiance. So they're good to go. Top lane, it looks like they are, again, just PPD scouting things out, and OpTic not feeling under any real pressure to try and, push the tempo at all. They're fairly comfortable with where they're at. And it looks like, as you mentioned, Kinguin gonna go for that smoke play now.
Yeah, Lifestealer needs mana. Mana boots on cooldown for Rubik. Zai is getting close to the Blink Dagger, 600 actually gold away. I think he just saw that.
Well, the Bane, in the meantime, does find Zai, and they're going to go for that quick kill with Nisha there in the area as well. They do also have over in the jungle, looking like maybe another possible setup as Zai trying to get away. They are going to be able to find that kill onto the Viper. Meanwhile, Zai, seeing if he can play his way out of here. Sasha is in the area as well, and one last right click is going to find the kill. So they managed to take down 2, and that wasn't even with the Sand King in the area.
Yeah, I mean, Troll is a problem. He almost has a BKB. Like, once he gets the BKB up, I mean, there's a DP ulti, which is physical damage, but he can be that second frontliner, actually third, because they have tri-core lineup. Dragonite, Viper, and the Troll with a BKB. It's going to be pretty hard to fight against.
Absolutely.
Also, 33 is going for pipe build, so that's gonna mitigate a lot of damage from Sanking ulti and Radiance as well.
Well, an extra little bit of help in the team. Honestly, it looks like an Underlord build. He didn't pick it in the game.
Poor man's Underlord right there.
Absolutely. It even has the damage reduction with his Breathe Fire. Easy peasy. BKB going out now, as Lifestealer is going to be trying to double down on the evasion soon by picking up that Solar Crest. But top lane, they're stalking out and trying to find Patos again, as they are going to be able to run him down. It looks like they bring in absolutely everybody, and another track kill going to be online for OpTic, while DP picks up the pipe.
Yeah, both of the teams have a really good Roche lineup. I'm surprised that Kinguin didn't commit to it earlier with level 2 Exorcism. But when the next fight starts, they can easily take down Roche. Like, even right now, they can force Kinguin. They know Sanking is gone for 30 seconds, so they are using that opportunity. DP has full pipe coming through, but it's not quite there yet.
Throw out the Nether Toxin as well, and OpTic looking like they're going to be able to secure this Roshan. As you mentioned, no Sand King, no problem. OpTic now going to head down, maybe just a lane. I mean, can they try and pressure for tier 2 tower mid?
There's no tier... Did you say tier 1, tier 2?
Tier 2.
Tier 2? Yeah, well, they can, but OpTic is not in a rush. Like, they have this Aegis. They will probably get into fight, let's say, after 3-4 minutes before the Aegis runs out, but they're really not in a hurry for anything. Troll has that Battle Fury, is just gonna keep farming. Also, Viper needs a bit more time to come back into the game. 6k net worth. He's going for a BKB, which is gonna mitigate a lot of damage that they have. Sanking just blinking in, nothing happening.
That was a little bit weird. They like smoke up all together and they blinks and then they end up revealing the smoke. So Kinguin not able to get anything out of that, and instead they're going to need to come and contend with the pressure that's going down bottom as they find the track onto the Bane. He's running away, but slowed down. Viper gets him with his strike. Exotic Deer trying to turn this back around now, and maybe an opportunity here. Another track, though, off on the side, and they do manage to bring down the Rubik. So not enough damage. Epicenter trying to turn, see if they can find these kills. The BKB comes out. Still the Spirit Siphon there is actually not able to end up slowing him down, but they still do get the kill on the DK.
Yeah, I mean, Lifesteal deals a ton of damage at the moment. Solar Crest plus the Radiance, they don't have anything to deal with the mischance.
Side jumps away. TP's not going to be able to complete. So Kinguin, all of a sudden, putting themselves in position to maybe get something for themselves.
Yeah, I expect the Lifestealer to actually disassemble that Solar Crest, or maybe even just go for another Heaven's Halberd. I mean, it's really great against this Tricore lineup, especially against the Troll. Troll is just farming so much, so the mischance coming out from will be mitigated by the MKB, which he has queued up. And once he gets the level 20, the extra 50 damage is just way too good.
Oh, they're maybe expecting this Troll to be in the area. PPD making his rotation in as well. They got to be careful, though. Sand King, he gets the blink away, but they have eyes on the Rubik. Pycat thinking about just running at people here. It might be a little bit too far and too deep, but no, Rubik should be able to escape from this one. Gets the track himself, but it is all for naught as they take down the Rubik yet again. OpTic just firing on all cylinders right now. Even though Kinguin's leading in kills, definitely feels like OpTics are in the control of this game.
Yeah, Kinguin with Epi and whenever DP ulti is ready, they should be the one who are taking the fights. They just, I guess they just want Aegis to be down. This Troll can go down pretty quickly if his BKB is on cooldown. So they wanna use this BKB right now.
Okay.
Sorry, not BKB, Aegis, before it runs out.
Another Enfeeble there onto the Troll Warlord, trying to keep the pressure off. They find a stun there, but Rage. Zai was thinking about following up that initiation, but didn't quite get into range for the Hex, and that calls off the pressure. Pycat still being enfeebled, but slowly they are taking down that tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Looking for it there. Epicenter coming in, able to find it onto one. Can they blow up this Viper in time? He does fall. So Exotic Deer getting that kill, and now maybe able to find more as 3-3 being chased down. They don't actually have it, but they get the grip there onto Pycat, starting to take him down low. Nisha trying to live the nightmare to keep him alive, and 3-3 goes back in to hopefully save his own life. Or rather, save the life of his teammate. He does happen, but...
Yeah, this is looking good for Kinguin. There was not the best epi. They just took out Viper pretty quickly, and then they can't fight. Like, I think they've built too much into this utility items, like the pipe and the helm on the Dragonite. Like, you want to have damage items on a DK, especially since you have Troll ulti. So you're going to have that extra attack speed.
Yeah, now they're able to pressure this tower. Exorcism is worn off, but there's the jump forward, and meanwhile, the turnaround. Sand King able to find that Lion, takes him down. Troll Warlord left completely alone. He doesn't have his BKB for another 20 seconds. Can they take him down in time? They are not quite going to be able to get him. He goes back in, actually. That's going to be the Aegis down. Viper back up. Can they find anything from this? Looks like Kinguin trying to escape before everybody else shows up, but all its extra movement speed, if they can get in range of it with the track, doesn't look like they're going to be able to chase down Kinguin.
Yeah, it feels like they lack damage at this point, so they should farm up on the side of OpTic, get the Troll to level 20, maybe wait for the next Roche. It feels like they are more scared of Kinguin right now than they actually should be.
Well, you mentioned that, you know, this Troll Warlord, he's farming out of control, but you look at that net worth, and if he gets gripped in the fight, or if he just gets isolated in any way as BKB starts to run too low, where else do they get that damage from? They need him to stay on top of heroes, and could be a little bit scary. We'll see if Kinguin can keep up this momentum, but the past couple of minutes, it's been all them. Yeah,
I mean, Lifestealer is farming as well. He's level 17, 12, actually 14,000 net worth. That's full SNY finished. But I think he should disassemble it and get Heaven's Halberd.
All right. We'll see if that's what he goes for. Actually has the SNY for now, so could disassemble that if he needs to.
I mean, you still get the maim from it.
Oh. They get the grip on the PPD. And then, see, there's some other heroes in the area. See you later. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I was just kidding. That was not the real grip.
Maybe a chance. Silence onto 3. Not terrible, but another track. PPD trying to run away. Epicenter ends up finally connecting there, only onto the bounty. But it is a kill.
Yeah, this Sanking is not getting 2-3 men Epicenters, but he's using it correctly. Like, they get a pick off, and then OpTic can't fight.
Yeah, and they end up finding another one now. So Nether Toxin ends up being stolen, and you've got potentially another push coming from Kinguin.
Yeah, they have DP ulti ready. That's level 3 ulti, and with Nether Toxin they can break the Viper and break the Dragon Knight, which is huge in the fights.
I mean, they already broke the Viper. He's dead for 40 seconds. Doesn't have buyback. I don't know if they'd want to use it here anyways, but Kinguin's starting to storm the high ground. Despite the trouble that they were running into before, OpTic struggling to find an answer as Kinguin are taking this down.
Yeah, also they have Rubik with the stolen dragon form.
That's awesome.
So more damage to the buildings. I don't think they can fight this.
Yeah, and if they end up stepping forward at all, they have the Lifestealer inside of that Sand King ready to take anybody down pretty much. So a full lane of racks going the way of Kinguin. And OpTic need to come up with answers now.
Yeah, they just smoked Bounty Hunter from behind, providing vision.
Oh, Sand King, he brought the Lifestealer with him. Who is it that's going to end up being the sacrificial lamb? Well, could it be anybody else but the Bane? Although he still might end up losing more in the area as PPD's trying to chase down Nisha. He can break his TP if they try and TP out of there. Nisha's pretty quick, though, and actually getting a little bit of extra movement speed.
He's waiting for Janata for the extra move slow.
Oh, Nisha chased all the way back to the tier 2 tower. He gets the silence onto the Viper. Eul's Scepter lift up. Pycat tries to jump in on this. They actually are able to find the stun. They take down Nisha. And now maybe going to be able to find the Lifestealers with a double kill for Pycat. They take down a third. Yeah. OpTic strike back. Oh my god.
I mean, they were standing close to each other. He used Rage right away, so Lion can't stun him. And with Battle Fury and the bashes, they just kept them in place. Like, Lifestealer can't really man-fight against the Troll since he has a Monkey King Bard. They are one set of Raxes behind, but they want to keep the pressure right now. Roche will respawn in a minute and a half, so they should scout that since they don't know.
Definitely. Well, again, he just starts going one way, it swings back the other way. Kinguin with a little bit of a flub there. Throw away a bit of their advantage again, but still, I think this Rubik has been playing really good games so far. Has Blink Force Staff also, so you know his extra mobility in these fights is well.
You just jinxed it.
You know, there's this thing called a Caster's Curse. I don't know if you heard of it, Lacoste, but it happens.
So yeah, they might actually threaten the tier 3s. Yeah, they have Alpha Wolf, which is gonna scout the Roche pit, and they have ton of damage. Roche will go down in less than 10 seconds if whole OpTic Gaming decides to go for it. That's a double damage Troll.
Oh, with the Enfeeble though, look at that guy.
Yeah, he's gonna dispel it.
Turn around now, there's gonna be the catch, the Epicenter only bringing him down to about 3/4 HP. Spirit Siphon on everybody, able to dodge away from that stun, but OpTic just retreat.
This is really good for OpTic. Exorcism is still running 24 seconds, and Roche will spawn in 20 seconds, so the perfect timing for OpTic. PPD with the Spirit Vessel, which is gonna mitigate a lot of healing coming out from Dead Prophet and Lifestealer once his rage is down.
Yeah.
I still think he should disassemble SNY and get Heaven's Halberd. I mean, even if you pop it pre-BKB, he can't dispel it.
Yeah, it's very, very solid, and especially since they tend to have had the initiation advantage. Pycat, in the meantime, is building towards a Satanic, which is just another way to give him that extra life. But his BKB is starting to wear down a little bit lower now on this Troll Warlord. That's always something that's a little bit concerning. But we'll have to see how it works out for them as Kinguin now. How do they respond to this? Like, they know that Roche is going to be back up around now. Do you think that they come and contest that? Like, DP ulti, I think, is still on cooldown for a little while?
Yeah, 7 to 5 seconds. I don't think they can take a fight without DP ulti and actually try to win a fight. That's probably, yeah, this Roche is just gonna disappear. But PPD will scout it out, see if anything happens. They know that they're in a Roche pit.
Yeah, so Kinguin not able to make anything happen to that. They do manage to steal track away from the Rubik, which is something that can be helpful. Like, that's one nice part about the track with the Troll Warlord, is that you can get that movement speed advantage and stay on top of somebody. But, you know, if he gets tracked, that's kind of a... you lose out on that advantage. But Aegis Troll?
With Satanic, so he can be the frontliner, not even pop BKB that early on. Can man fight DP even with when she has the ulti and especially Lifestealer.
Yeah. 6,000 net worth lead now, and a Spirit Vessel on the Bounty Hunter as well. So another way to deal with that Death Prophet, and I guess even Lifestealer to some extent.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really, the story of the game is that Troll Warlord just being able to be out of control. Nice little look there at the Lion. What a funny looking hero. So with this Aegis, I'm imagining tier 2 towers, are they going to pressure for the high ground as well, do you think, OpTic? Like, are they, you still feel like they're under no pressure?
Yeah, I mean, Kinguin needs to land a really good epi, and they need to pop DP ulti to start a fight. Like,
okay.
if the fight starts, DP pops the ulti, OpTic will just back, wait for DP ulti to run off, and then go. Like,
okay.
they want to fight. They want to force a fight, see what Kinguin does.
500 health talent for the Death Prophet now, as they're going to start to throw out the tracks on to Pycat. Tier 3 tower starting to go down. Pato's in position for an epicenter, but again, he used that on an Aegis, then he comes back in a second. It feels pretty bad. They're going to try and pull him back in now. There's going to be the epi coming in. It's still a little too far away. They find it there on Decisive, but it's not looking like it's up. With the Exorcism, they might be able to bring these guys down, but Pycat turns now, trying to take him down, but they get the grip. Alicia's on the side of him, able to control him, but they're not doing enough damage to this Troll Warlord, and he still has the Aegis after all is said and done anyways. Can they kill him a second time? No Bounty Hunter in this fight either. They buy back on the Lion, trying to get into this fight, though. There's the lift, there's the turn, there's going to be the kill. Pycat goes down for a second time, 80 seconds on the sidelines, and Kinguin's starting to make it happen. They take down another.
Yeah, I don't think they should have fully committed for a pre-BKB before the Aegis. Also good grip coming out from Bane. They killed both Lion and Bounty, so they had nothing to stop the Bane's grip. Dragonite was in a bad position, couldn't blink. Two buybacks forced from OpTic. Bounty and Lion.
And the Troll Warlord felt like he was invulnerable, so he bought out for that full Satanic. No buyback on him right now.
Yeah, they don't know that.
Yeah, that's a good point. So they're not going to end up being able to take advantage of it. But still, Kinguin going to try and pressure for the last tier 2 tower. Without Exorcism, it seems unlikely they're going to be able to go high ground.
Yeah, they got a lot of gold in that fight. That was like 7k gold swing. The full AC because Rubik had level 2 track.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy, too. And now they can try and take down the Shrine as well, since they earlier took down the full lane of Barracks. Wow.
Yeah, this Viper is in the bottom of net worth. 10,000 net worth only. I mean, if he somehow gets the Aghanim Scepter and gets that level 20 talent plus 100 Viper Strike DPS, that's gonna kite around the two heroes, DP and Lifestealer.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now it's only down to a 2,000 net worth lead, 35 minutes in. Definitely a closer contention than we saw in the last one. And Kinguin looking to try and even up this series at 1 game apiece. So next couple of minutes here. Again, it's Aegis down. Was Cheese used in that last fight?
No, Viper still has it.
Okay. So they do still have that little bit of an advantage from taking down the Roche earlier.
Yeah, they should be careful about that Bane's grip in the fights.
Yeah.
Like, he can troll Warlord's BKB is 5 seconds, so he can hold him for the full duration.
To get towards that Nether Toxin Silences ability. Still probably a pretty ways far away. Kinguin, smoking, heading mid. They got everybody. They got DP ulti. And OpTic, if they're not careful, they could potentially get caught out of position in their own freaking base. Looks like they're waiting for somebody to come up high ground, but nobody biting by OpTic. Oh, they jump forward.
I don't see often. Never mind, I'll keep that for later.
Lift, turnaround, and Rubik just dead. And now they found another.
That's a gem.
Excuse me? The rest of them are TPing out, but Kinguin just ran into trouble.
So yeah, that's a gem, and they're gonna devord. There's a triangle of wards. Yeah, it's being pinged out. PPD. Let's see if they can find it. Lion is the one who has the gem.
Do OpTic try and take advantage of this timing, though, also? I mean, it's 50 seconds on the sideline. They could maybe push for something here.
Like, this was just a sloppy play from Kinguin.
Yeah, and gonna be punished for it here. A Rage TP away by the Lifestealer. No Bounty Hunter with the rest of the team of OpTic. As Pycat gonna try and push out and take down that bottom tier 3 tower. So Shrine's available and open now for OpTic to take.
Yeah, there's still 25 seconds for a sanking, and I guess they're just gonna take the shrines and wait for the next Roche. This troll is on top of the net for 27,000 gold, but he is running out of slots. Like, he can buy Lincoln Sphere, remove the Black King bar once he uses it, get that Lincoln's, remove boots maybe even before the fight. A lot of ways to use the items right now, since we have a backpack, get the refresher orb, just double Satanic, double Black King bar. Something that I was thinking of, one thing actually, use Eon Disc, like in the later stages of the game. If you have it for a buyback and on the carries, just keep swapping BKB and the Eon Disc, or if he wants, he can have the components of Eon Disc in the backpack and then assemble it during the fight.
Next level. Yeah, I like that. Speaking of that item, DP did pick it up. So another way to make sure she does not get bursted, and we'll be able to live throughout the at least initial initiation that comes. But the Thorn in the Side, it looks like Kinguin again going to stand up on their high ground, go for the 5-man smoke, see if this one works out a little bit better than last time. As they are looking to find a pick-off here on to OpTic. PPD, he's going to be in position to break this, although...
Yeah, they know something is happening. Look at the positioning from OpTic, just trying to scout with the Centaur Conqueror.
Yeah, Kinguin aren't going to be able to find anything here, it looks like. And Roche, possible to respawn in a couple seconds. See how long that timer actually ends up being. That's OpTic playing it safe inside their base, yet still maintaining a 4,000 net worth lead.
They're just keeping the eye on the Roche. May respawn in a couple of seconds.
That warding vision still into the favor of Kinguin in spite of the gem being handed over. And Viper around 700 gold away from having the Aghanim Scepter if he wants to buy that, although you assume that he's probably going to be hanging on to buyback as well, as they're going to go for a smoke of their own. Now OpTic heading in. It looks like Kinguin getting wind of it is going to hit the scan onto that Bounty Hunter and now just get the heck out of dodge. They're running. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, scan connected.
I mean, look at that. There's creeps inside their base while this is happening, and they know that there's smoke coming.
Yeah, we're hitting your shrine. Where are we? Like, Roche is going to spawn in a minute and a half. They need to clear the bottom wave so they can take the fight at the Roche. Yeah. Everything's been devorded. They stole that gem. That was a really sloppy play from Kinguin. Losing the gem, losing 2 heroes, which set them back.
Yeah. Well, now they're waiting around the Roche pit because Kinguin want to try and secure that, but it's getting a little bit tough to make it happen. DK trying to build towards the BKB next, it looks like. Almost level 20 as well. But the game has definitely slowed down a lot. In spite of that, it's still OpTic that are continuing to mount up a gold lead. And they're going to go for another smoke as the bottom lane has been pushed out. 2 waves worth of it. And
yeah,
see if they can find anybody.
Full nullifier finished on Lifestealer, has no buyback. So that's a good way to deal with Troll, to mute the Satanic and the BKB.
Nisha's there, but he has the Aeon Disc. I don't know if they can go on this guy at the very start of it, at the very least. He's actually going to pop the Exorcism and looking to chase this.
He says sorry.
What?
I don't know. How did he know? It's probably a misclick. Like, they couldn't see the bounty. They have...
How? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it scared away OpTic, and it looked like it could have been a bad fight for Kinguin had that not happened, maybe? I don't know.
This is huge, actually, for OpTic. Roche is going to spawn in 12 seconds. He shouldn't show on the map. After he done that, he should just hide, so they don't know that he used it.
I mean, obviously they knew it, but they didn't know that necessarily that he knew it. At least I don't believe so. I didn't see a gem on the DP, at least. I don't think they picked up another one. Well, OpTic now going to realize Roche is back up when they go and check it.
Rubik has a gem, but even with that, they only saw bounty, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Hex, silence the turn. They throw out a Nightmare as well. Trying to run down this Rubik. They do manage to take him down, dead, and another gem going the way of OpTic. Bottom lane is being pushed in while this is all going on by Mr. Sand King, and it's actually inside Radiant's base, but looks like OpTic has bigger plans in mind as they are going to take down Roche now. And another Aegis into their hands. But yeah, the creeps all the way in tier 4s.
Who's going to pick it up? CCNC is going to pick it up this time. There's a Refresher Shard on the ground. I mean, they don't have the best Refresher Shard heroes.
They just
just
afford for this. It's a tier 4 tower that actually was just about to die. So that comes back to save the day, but that was a lot of damage onto that.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to use this Refresher Shard, like double Dragonite ulti, I don't know, double stun.
I guess that like once BKB is used by Troll, he can pop it and then go for a second round maybe if they want to throw it onto him.
But he has a Lincoln Spheres, but they should still give it to him, I think. Like, Dragonite's not dealing any damage. He even went for 300 health instead of 35 damage talent.
Double pipe. Look out.
Wow. Double blade mail against the DP. Double power thread switch.
Oh, Lacoste, what a guy.
In and out with the blink dagger.
He blinks in, refreshes, blinks out. Gotcha.
Yeah, this has to be one of the worst lineups to have the Refresher Shard. I mean, they can have a Lion. He has actually enough mana pool to cast his spell twice.
Okay. That could be pretty nifty. Well, nonetheless, it is, like we talked about, Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard on OpTic, who have been able to build up an 8,000 gold lead besides being stuck inside their base throughout most of the game. But this bottom lane has just been a thorn in their sides, having to constantly keep that pressured out. And because of that, Kinguin...
8 sentries on El Lesage. He just wants to get rid of the ward. They already committed for buying 2 gems.
Oh, they have eyes on the Sand King down bottom as well, on the low ground. At least they did for a second with Zai. They're trying to scout him out again, but there is, again, like you said, that sentry ward. They maybe could have turned there, but didn't have complete vision of the rest of OpTic heroes. So OpTic now trying to make that slow siege happen at the base. But again, they got to be careful. Bottom lane is pushing in. They've got a full wave. Somebody needs to go back and deal with that.
They need the BOTs on someone. Troll probably should buy it. He has enough gold, but doesn't have buyback cooldown cost to... Yeah, well, he needs 500 gold for a buyback and boots of travel. Oh, look. Viper with Aghanim Scepter.
Okay.
With the talent, plus 100 Viper DPS strike. That's going to hurt a lot. That's actually 250 per second for 5 seconds. And the cooldown is 10, so 5 seconds downtime against the Life Stealer. It's way too good.
It's very, very solid. They did also pick up an Aghanims on the Sand King, so he can initiate from a little bit further away. We've seen a couple of those fights where he's just been a little too far away to hit the epicenters. Now he solves that problem. As top lane, they weren't quite able to find the D ward onto that Radiant Observer ward, but they do find the Rubik as he blinks away. Force Staff trying to get out. Oh, the force into the hit with the Impale. And they will be able to take down Mr. Rubik. He falls. The rest of Kinguin here, they could maybe buy back if they want to try and wrap on this. Kinguin thinking about getting fancy. They go forward. There's the stun on it too. They buy back on the Rubik. Gonna be able to take out Zai right at the start of this fight. Pycat turns to fight, but he needs to be careful if there's a grip that comes out. They got him caught 3-3. No, but they were able to break it. So they take down that Bane, but now the BKB has worn out and all the damage in the world. They get the lift. They got the control. Pycat trying to hit on anybody at all. He is actually regenning with the Satanic, but not enough. He is going to fall, and now CCNC also in trouble, likely to die twice. Kinguin making it happen here. A quick and easy one.
I mean, that was a good wraparound from Kinguin. Good sanking stun, 2-man, and then Rubik buys back. Also, this Troll's BKB is pretty useless at this point, since Bane is using grip, so they should try to keep an eye where Bane is. Maybe get a Lotus Orb against the grip as well.
Yeah. Well, they need to find out something, because that's well, and I guess eventually, you know, you can try and go for a lot of different ways to deal with it, but it's also, we saw in that last time, it didn't even matter that it was like a grip for only a second. You also had like the stuns that came after the BKB because it was on cooldown.
Yeah, I'm not sure why DK still has a refresher shard. Like, if Troll had another BKB there plus another Satanic, once they pop your Lincoln Sphere, you just drop it into the backpack and refresh it.
Oh, Rage, that's a BKB down for 3-3 as well. It's a 10-second one, but they take down the tier 3 tower, and again, Kinguin taking a decisive fight and now taking an objective.
And Lifestealer is 6 slotted, can still buy one more item, not level 25 yet. Like, it's 50 minutes, you would expect a lot of heroes to be level 25, but
yeah,
seems like we didn't see too much clashes. We were only 45 kills in.
Well, it's only 6,000 gold lead too, and God, that Nullifier on the Lifestealer also can just make all the difference in the world, particularly since you now have the Sand King that can initiate from just feels like forever away. So Zai's getting close to his level 20. I think that I saw Bane was almost there as well. And there's that difference in team net worth that was so heavily into the favor of OpTic, and really that experience is starting to tell the real story. All it cost, another DD for Exotic Deer. I mean, what do you do now if you're OpTic?
I mean, the build that they went for, like the heroes don't scale, especially Dragon Knight. With that 300 health plus a pipe, and then you have Helm of the Dominator, Blade Mail. That's so much utility items.
Yeah,
like you don't scale that well. So you're relying everything on pretty much Troll Warlord to deal the damage. So you probably need a Lotus Orb to cancel the Bane's grip, or just need to keep an eye on him. So either Lion stuns or Bounty Hunter gets a Shuriken toss on him.
And somebody in this fight is going to be dealing no damage, because Bane just got the plus 100, I guess minus 100 in feeble damage. Is it plus or minus?
It's plus in feeble reduction.
Plus in feeble reduction, I like that. There you go. I mean, that's a lot of damage reduction.
No, that's not fun at all.
I mean, on any one of those heroes, probably Troll is going to be the best one. They've got Exorcism grants hates as well, so these are a couple of timings that kind of make a big difference. I believe that Lifestealer also got his level 25. They're looking for initiation, already finding one. Zai going to get jumped upon. He falls, and now PPD also in some trouble. They've muted the Viper. He can't get anything off. They've also gripped the Troll Warlord. He's completely isolated, and now his BKB down, trying to live. The Satanic is there, but it's not nearly enough. The DK lifted, trying to escape, but they are just getting rolled over here. Exotic Deer is a man with a plan. The Refresher Blink, we said it could happen, and it actually happens. BKB. He does have that other BKB, wants to run away. Blade Mill is there as well, and actually with that, Kinguin not quite able to take down the DK.
Everyone bought back. Zai bought back, Troll Warlord bought back, so they know that DP does not have ulti, but she has Octarine Core. Ulti is going to be up in 70 seconds.
And all those buybacks can make a difference. Again, OpTic, they need to push these waves out before Kinguin can mount an assault with that DP ulti, because at each one of the previous fights, they've had to use the DP ulti to win it. Now they can pressure afterwards.
Yeah, and Feeble plus Breathe Fire stolen from Rubik, they actually deal no damage. They're actually healing you when they hit you.
Oh man, 21 to 26. A little bit of a lead now into the favor of Kinguin. You like that healing salve?
Yeah,
pain?
I mean, it's good if you go in and out of the fights as a 6th item. 50 minutes in, it's amazing, mind blown. No, but jokes aside, it's good. I've seen some good plays with flasks. Like if you can't die, you just flask up. Maybe even get one more. I guess he's just saving for a buyback. No, he doesn't have it for the next 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you get that 500 health talent as well for the Lion. But it feels like one more fight here, and OpTic might potentially just end up losing this game. They need to find a way to win a fight, and it doesn't feel like they've done that in 15, 20 minutes almost.
So, we're waiting for the next Roche. It's gonna spawn in a minute and a half. We need 4th Roche item, which I already discussed with some people what it should be, had some good ideas. Do you think we should have a 4th Roche item?
I mean, double refresher shard. Uh-oh. Kinguin looking for an opening. They actually found him. CC&C again isolated. Pycat gonna be kited. They do take down the Rubik though. Anisha trying to run away. Aeon Disc ends up kicking in. He's living through this one, at least for the moment. And now BKB's down yet again. Exotic Deer needs to be careful about going into this one. Patos actually gonna be isolated. Zai fingers himself. His Exotic Deer is starting to be ran down. Nisha, Spirit Siphon, does he end up taking down the troll? He does.
Has no buyback.
Mega Creek kill and no buyback. 3-3, now also in trouble. Zai doing whatever he can with the Hex,
yeah,
but
meanwhile,
DP doesn't care.
Their base is dying.
Oh god, the Rose ended up not being able to deal with that bottom lane yet again. So both Tier 4 towers taken by the creeps. Oh no, it's all falling apart. They don't have buyback on Troll. 100 seconds on the sideline, and Kinguin might finally have done it.
Yeah, that's a refresher orb on DP. They should just go on a mid lane. They know that Troll doesn't have a buyback because he used it in the previous fight, so DP should just refresh. She doesn't even need to refresh it. 20 seconds cooldown because of the Octarine core.
Yeah, 3-3 again goes to the wrong neighborhood. He is going to be muted, starting to be killed off here. Lifestealer pretty good against DK. The Force Staff, Zai doing everything in his power to try and save his core, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. A Yule Scepter lived up. He actually does get back to the base, but at the end of the day, this is Defense of the Ancients, and it is going to fall as Kinguin most likely going to be taking game number 2 here, muted and killed off. Beautiful play from the Kinguin guys as they stick through it to the very end.
Yeah, I mean, this game was who's gonna make more mistakes. Like, it was back and forth, and I mean, both of the teams were throwing the lead that they had. I think OpTic could have finished the game. They had the window to finish the game before Kinguin could come back into this one. But congrats to Kinguin, man. They did it.
Yeah, really impressive showing. I guess, was there like a standout player to you, or I guess a standout, what was it that they did better than they did in game number 1? Like, what was the big deciding for you?
I mean, they had better heroes to start with. Like, the lineup, they had the tower damage, they had the cores who scale well. Patos was playing really good on that Sanking, especially since he picked up Aghanim Scepter.
Right.
But I would say Exotic Deer, like his positioning was on point in this game with the Lifestealer.
He's still a Bane hater? He did a lot this game.
Yeah, he actually did. I mean, it could be also thrown to the OpTic because they couldn't break it. I mean, you have a Lifestealer in the front line, so you can't really use the blink. Maybe with the pipe pop, so it doesn't deal the damage, or maybe with a little wraparound from Bounty.
Yeah.
Just to stop the duration, or just to get the Lotus Orb. I think the Lotus Orb could have made the difference. Also, the item build on the Dragon Knight, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have that hero that scales. That's why you picked it. Otherwise, you would just pick a different hero.
If it was Underlord, that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
He does so much damage anyways just by his skills, but... Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a game number 3 here, Star Ladder Minor. It's the Invitational. We're in lovely Kiev. Stick around because we got more from the panel in just a second. Talk about that game number 2.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lyrical and Lacoste. And indeed, we are heading to a 3rd game because OpTic was not able to make the death ball work. Nahaz, we were wrong. I mean, why do we go up against Winter? That's, you know...
Well, that game was
big
like...
question mark.
That game was like back and forth. I would say on OpTic had a lot of opportunities that game, maybe to close out the game.
I think some pretty big unforced errors on both sides, really. I mean, you saw the Kinguin hitting their exorcism prematurely on the Death Prophet outside the base after she had already gotten A on disc. You saw a number of fights that I felt OpTic could have approached differently, but at the end of the day, a little bit of a messy game, and the sloppy game favors the underdog.
It ended up being that way, but I wonder why it was so sloppy. It's like, was that an underestimating opponent situation here from OpTic?
It's just not easy to play their lineup though. I think I mentioned earlier that I rather play the Dire lineup, which is the Kinguin lineup. I felt there was much more balance within their heroes. They have teamfight, they have catch, they have pretty good laning phase. There's a lot of like things that are ticked in their draft, but when you look at the OpTic draft, they are much more like they have this like DK, Viper, Troll. I think DK and Viper are probably overlapping in terms of the role in the game they play in the game. They are those like versatile heroes that can be sacked early. They take it for the team. But when you have too many of those heroes, it means that you're taking away from your team fight department, which we saw in the game. They were behind like what 8k, 10k, but they were taking team fights. They were winning the team fights, and the Troll was just controlled by the Bane all the time. The Enfeeble, the Grip, he just couldn't do damage in the fights.
Yeah. I definitely think it's super awkward when you have those 3 right-click heavy cores, really no initiation in your cores, and then you have a bounty as one of your supports. If that bounty is like a disruptor or some more teamfight-oriented support, I think that lineup looks a lot better. But the real issue, Lacoste mentioned the DK item build, and that point was particularly relevant. He didn't like it, and I felt that point was particularly relevant in light of the fact that the Viper was just, he got crapped on in lane, and I mean, OpTic knew what they were getting, right? They were the ones that brought back the Bane counter to the Viper during some of their qualifier matches, so they knew their Viper was going to be behind, but really it was just a matter of, sort of reminding me a lot of the Secret versus Fnatic game at Katowice, where they had that one bottom lane early, and OG just had nobody that could really split push. The Troll, every time he was out in the zone, gets killed, and they never were really able to sustain any presence on the Kinguin side of the map because of that bottom lane.
Well, the lanes go in the way of Kinguin already. I don't know. OpTic, we talked about the death ball that they should have had, and it started out so slow.
Well, it's hard to. The other thing is, to Winner's point, right? It's hard to deathball when the other team has this much superior team fight, right?
Yeah.
Because when they have their combo online, that gold that they've got is just so much more efficient, right? In a value for value sense, and you're seeing here just the prevalence of these team fight abilities on the side of Kinguin, and by comparison, OpTic. I mean, they stand there and right click and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still, like Kinguin, they kind of made a lot of errors as well.
Exactly.
Like even though they have, in my opinion, an easier lineup to execute this game, but they had like similar issues compared to the first game. They had all these kind of like moments where they were not sure of what they should be doing, or when they were diving at top lane behind the tier 2, one person decides to go in, the rest decides not to, and then it was like a free kill here, a free kill there, and you're playing against Bounty. There's a track kill every time.
Well, even before that, right? We were talking during the Alcohol direct lane
this one,
phase.
this
one. Yeah, this fight, exactly. This was where it really looked like Kinguin was ready to seize control of the game. I wondered, they got the ward down there, so they had 2 wards in that area. So it felt like that was a fight that they should approach with confidence.
But here we already see the creep wave coming into effect. This is the final fight, and these creeps are just having a field day there. This tier 4 tower is about to drop, and the fight is not even going OpTic's way. Like they kind of win the fight, sure, but in the end, losing tier 4 towers for that, they didn't win it convincingly enough.
I just my big thing, right? Because we're getting a game 3 and we hope that it's close.
Yes.
My big thing is I want to see Kinguin commit, because it felt like at a couple times. I mean, again, going all the way back to the laning phase where you had the winning mid, the Bane winning mid, kind of walks halfway to the bottom lane and then walks back. It's like, okay, Winner and I were arguing backstage about whether he should have gone bottom earlier, but the fact is, whether or not you're going to go bottom or commit to mid, make that decision. There were just too many moments in this game where Kinguin was just kind of tentative.
I did really enjoy Path's Sand King, by the way.
I think he's the MVP. He's definitely the MVP.
Easily. And it's a comfort hero for him.
It showed. We talked before the second game what they should be doing, and Winter, you said focus more on their own play. Don't get too stuck up on their own heroes in terms of play style. But they picked that Sand King and they worked it in perfectly.
Yeah. Try not to counter though, worry too much about counter
exactly.
picking. Worry more about what you want to put each player on your team, what kind of heroes that they want to play, what kind of heroes that they're really good at, and try to get those heroes for them.
Yeah, and those are striking, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. Those are striking damage numbers to me because remember, Pycat was out so far in front farm-wise for much of the game. And to see both the Lifestealer and Death Prophet end up in front of him in hero damage.
That's the Radiance build and the Bane against the Troll. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's true. The Enfeeble.
The Radiance Lifestealer, even though he gets like kited by the Viper ultimate, but he's just doing damage. As long as he's in the middle of the fight, he's doing damage.
A rough game for OpTic, to be sure, and it is Elisash that the computer decides.
They really like giving the position 5s the MVP. The last game it was the Rubik.
Before that, the first two was the core, though.
I still want to know what that damage impact means. 5%. Huh?
I mean, Bane, we don't need him for the damage, so
true.
I think he's fine. He went for the 100 damage reduction extra on Enfeeble for the talent, which is great for him, not so great for Pycat's Troll, I guess, in retrospect. But that was a good game from Kinguin.
Oh, for sure.
Was that a lot of credit to them? Or was that also maybe a little bit OpTic falling short? How do we feel going into the third game?
Both ways, I guess. I think they did like a reasonable job, even though there were a lot of mistakes. They had a good draft. I think they should stick to Bane. Bane is the key hero.
Is the key hero.
Oh, I'm down with that. Lane stabilizer. It's something that counters a lot of the heroes that OpTic like to run. I mean, at the end of the day, I said going into the series, I thought Kinguin execution-wise, I think they can play with OpTic as long as they give themselves a chance in the draft. Game 2, that happened.
All right, well, we're going to find out if that's going to happen for the third game as well. But before we find out, we are going to head to a short break. We'll be right back.